For our first news of the day. So, you guys are already familiar with the Giants going through some big time moves. I mean, not only does my Minnesota Vikings team have a new GM, a new head coach, and are trying to go for a rebuild, a little bit of a rebuild here, Giants are going for a full on rebuild by bringing in their new GM, Joe Schoen. I think I'm saying his last name right. And obviously their head coach, Brian Dable. Now, they've made some big time moves so far this season. However, continues by releasing veteran tight end Kyle Rudolph, loved player by this Vikings team, been with our team for 10 years, spent 1 year with the New York Giants and did not have a good season. That's why he was cut, and he was cut the year before with the Vikings because he's a veteran, long-time aging player who's starting to fall off in the NFL. However, Kyle Rudolph has mentioned that he will not retire and will continue his career in the NFL, which rightfully so. Huge credit to him. Kyle Rudolph, love the guy, want him to have a great career. However, again, whatever contract he gets next will likely be on veteran minimum. They've also released backup running back Devontae Booker and are actually on top of that set to they're open for trade offers for Saquon Barkley. So, Giants, talk about a rebuild when you're looking at the Giants right now. Now, the Giants have been in a rebuild since they lost Eli Manning and since they lost Odell Beckham Jr. So it's been some time now that the Giants have been waiting for a new front office change and a new team, really, for the New York Giants. Now, they're expected to still keep their Daniel Jones at quarterback, but outside of that, big time moves coming out of their entire locker room, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So when it comes to tight end Kyle Rudolph, should the Minnesota Vikings bring Kyle Rudolph back? I'm hearing a lot of people on Twitter around the internet talking about Kyle Rudolph be a great player to come back on our Vikings team on veteran minimum. What are you guys talking about? No, we should not bring Kyle Rudolph back. Where did our heads go? All right, we bring Kyle Rudolph back. We're bringing him on veteran minimum. What is the point of being Kyle Rudolph back when we can move that money elsewhere? I mean, when you look at our tight end position, yeah, we're very thin at tight end. However, at the end of the day, Irv Smith Jr. is supposed to be our future star, our future starter at the tight end position. Now, he has suffered with injuries. On top of that, it's not a big deal. I mean, tight end is a very important position nowadays, but if you don't have an elite tight end, it's not going to be the difference maker of you winning a Super Bowl and you being missing the playoffs. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Tight ends, we do not need a 33-year-old tight end to come back onto our team when we are looking for young players. This is the route that our team is taking, and we should not bring Kyle Rudolph back. I cannot believe how many people are saying, "Oh, it'd be great to have this guy on veteran minimum," right? I'm sure he wants to play with our team. Yes, I love the guy. I want him to have a great career. Should he come back with the Vikings? Absolutely not. We do not need to bring Kyle Rudolph back, as our attention needs to be elsewhere. When you're looking at tight end, Irv Smith Jr. is going to be our starter next year, and now, assuming he doesn't get injured, should have a good season. And this is his prove it season for Irv Smith Jr. If he doesn't have a good season, he'll likely not be with the Vikings after one more year. So, yeah, the Vikings have a hole at tight end, and I get that. We have a need when it comes to tight end. You bring Kyle Rudolph on veteran minimum, it's not looking great. It's not looking great for our team. We're going to be more against the cap. I would rather just stick to rookies. Stick to taking rookies at tight end, see what they're able to do. Now, one thing, if Kellen Mond is going to be our starting quarterback next year, which I'd give that a less than 1% chance that Kellen Mond is our starting quarterback next year. If it happens, then yes, grab Kyle Rudolph. Why? Because Mond loves throwing to his big body tight ends. I mean, this is how he had a successful career at Texas A&M, a successful 4-year starting there. And yeah, if we go that route, it makes sense. But at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is our quarterback. When Kirk Cousins was here, Kyle Rudolph was not at his best. Kyle Rudolph was not the Kyle Rudolph we saw in the early 2010s, where he had Sam Bradford, where he had Teddy Bridgewater. These are quarterbacks who targeted Kyle Rudolph a lot. This is when we put Kyle Rudolph really into our offensive system. Now, we did have one good year. I believe that was in the 2018 season under the tenure with Kirk Cousins. However, at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is not the type of quarterback where you just need to load up on tight ends like you would if you had Kellen Mond starting, which, again, that's not going to happen. It's either going to be Kirk Cousins or someone that we get from a Kirk Cousins trade. If we trade away Kirk Cousins, if it does happen, we'll likely get a Carson Wentz back, get a Drew Lock back, get a Sam Darnold back, or something like that in the trade. I don't expect it to be anybody else other than those two options right there.